Hey everyone, it's me, and I'm back with this week's episode of my Best Vintage Life podcast.
Just her.
Joined by my co-host, my fabulous co-host, Art Bazarkanian, president and CEO of Baz Brothers Unlimited.
Otherwise known as Lutz von Stickel.
A vintage wholesaler based in Fresno and Los Angeles, California. How are you, Art?
I am peachy today.
He's not in a good mood. About an hour ago, he told me he needed to be left alone. I thought, well, this should be an interesting podcast. We apologize for missing 2 weeks ago, but we're going to make it up for you today. Hey, some podcasts actually take like summer breaks. I can't imagine doing that. I feel like I haven't done this in like 3 months, just missing one. Isn't it weird?
No.
Isn't it weird? That's an old Hanson song. I was going to start
Hansel
singing.
and Gretel?
No, Hanson, the Mbop band, boy band. Right. Our little notes here.
I saw one of them at the Rose Bowl.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Which one? You have to show me later. Hang on. Let me put my dude.
They all look alike.
I mean, not really. No. I'll tell you which one was my favorite later. Email us at admin@mybestvintagelifepodcast.com. Questions, comments, and concerns. If you can't find it or can't type it out, you can always go to our link in bio on social media and click to email us. You can follow us on social media at TikTok and Instagram at My Best Vintage Life Podcast. I created a new Instagram for the first time in forever for my new cabin that I purchased. Well, it's an old cabin, new purchase. And the Instagram for that is at Meadow Meander Cabin. Follow along if and only if you like old house stuff and renovation tips. I figured this is the third time I've done renovations to a home. It's time to document it and help some people.
Well, everybody always asks you, but this is a nice way of doing it chronologically where they can see the before and after. I kind of like that.
The one thing I do love about Instagram, the many things I hate, but I do love Instagram memory. So a year from now, we'll be able to look back and see how the house has come along.
Yeah, the progress, the evolution.
I did the same thing with the last house that I bought. So at Meadow Meander Cabin, and you can always follow my personal at basic.bougie.bridget. And there's links to all of them in the bios.
Man, I haven't heard Basic Bougie in so long.
Yeah, I know. I always forget to mention
original.
it. That's it was originally, I was actually Fraser Crane on the radio. That was my original. And then before that, I don't remember. Website, mybestvintagelifepodcast.com. You can sign up for our newsletter for vintage resellers, which I haven't done yet this month. Slacking on that. It's been a long month already.
It's your birthday month, man.
Yeah, maybe I'll
give yourself some.
Maybe I won't do a newsletter this month. That would be
I want you to. I love reading those things.
See, you just put the pressure on.
There's no pressure. It should be fun. It should be like, should you spoil yourself for birthday month?
You can purchase mentor sessions there, 1 session, 3 session, or 6 session package. You can do some shopping, and you can also read our wholesale shopping FAQs. Right now, we're running a lot of specials for vintage wholesale buyers. Our hot special is $199, 25 pairs of denim shorts shipped in the continental USA.
Vintage denim shorts.
Vintage, yes. Also available in Canada. We have some black shorts. We have an overdyed lot. We have some
jewel tones.
70s blank T-shirts. There's a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah,
it's
with
been
the
very
success
popular.
of this and the popularity of it, I keep brainstorming, thinking what other fun.
Oh, I know, it's killing me.
Yeah,
I'm walking around the warehouse aimlessly.
I know I'm gonna do caps.
Yeah, that was a popular request. We did a little poll on social media, and a lot of people reached out about hats, and we're gonna do the denim version of the shorts.
Oh yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah. And if you want to show us some love and you don't have the monetary resources to become a patron, you can do something completely free, and that's giving us a rating or a review.
Oh, I thought you can have them send you pictures or something.
No, no.
Show us some love.
No. Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. God, it's so inappropriate. Okay.
Show the love.
I don't. Did someone just cough?
No, that was me.
Oh.
Saying show the love.
Our obsession at the moment. Do you have one?
I do.
Okay.
Cali Squeeze blood orange beer. I'm addicted.
Hefeweizen?
Yeah, I'm addicted. Yeah. It's so yummy, and I think it's because it's so unseasonably and very rare in Fresno to have humidity, and it's been humid.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's
humid
nothing
and
compared
cloudy
to
and windy.
our friends in the South or back east.
No.
But
Yeah, I was
for
just talking-
Fresno, it's a little different.
I'm just talking to my friend in North Carolina, and she's about 2 hours from Charlotte, and she was saying how, you know, it's like it's 88 and humid. They say storms are coming, they never come. It's just bad.
It's oppressive.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to somebody at the Lee Corporation, and he's taking his family straight to the beach because he says Charlotte's just too much.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought they're in Winston-Salem.
No, that's just where one of their employees works.
My bad. I'm not trying to give anyone's address away.
Man.
I don't. Oh, did we talk about ceviche? I mean, we've talked about
Ceviche.
ceviche.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about ceviche on Instagram. Now, last week we got 3 pounds of ceviche. Art
I know. I went nuts.
Art has this really bad habit. We get into arguments where it's just a little excessive. He's like Marie Antoinette, like let them eat cake, but like let them eat ceviche. And I'm like, we don't need 3 pounds. Even
Listen,
that would have been
better to
enough for
have
like
it.
10 people.
What, 10 people?
If
We had like half of it.
hypothetically.
We ate half of it.
Yeah, and
then
I paid for it the next day.
That's your problem. I enjoyed it.
Spicy ass ceviche.
That was good.
Things were not good the next morning. So today we're talking about, so one of our listeners at Lady Hog Vintage reached out asking if we could do a topic on sexism in the vintage world. And that's not to say we're not going to talk about that in this episode. However, as we got to talking, it was like, wow, this is just like a lot of shitty people in general. So we're calling this the not so nice side of vintage. So we're just going to talk about some shit situations we've been in personally, and we'll try to end it on a positive. But I think one of the main reasons to do this is for you to know, you know, you're not alone out there. If these things have happened to you or do happen to you eventually, you know, there's always bad people out there. It's hard to admit, but
That's that.
there's always some lemons, you know, got to make lemonade with their rotten exterior and interior.
Nope.
Just don't get poisoned.
Exactly. Don't let it consume you.
Yes. So, do you want to start?
No, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to talk. My topics are kind of centering a lot around just some bad things that have happened with me, with men in the industry. One of them being someone that I used to work with at my old job. And Art is involved with this story. Back when Art was my supplier, I don't know if he texted me or called me one day. This is when I'm still living in Pennsylvania. And he said, you know, Art picked someone up in LA who was on a buying trip and drove them up to Fresno. And if you've done that trip or you have any idea of what, you know, travel time is in California, that's about a 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She flew in from England.
Yes.
Yep.
And
So I thought the least I could do is go pick her up. And
right.
Yeah.
Because you had to go down there anyway.
not really.
No,
I
you just did that to be
specifically-
nice.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice of you. So she went to another one of my suppliers, and he talked a lot of shit on me.
Yeah.
So bad to the point where I put a meeting on my supervisor's calendar and told her about it in tears. And she was pretty pissed about it too. And she and I did not get along very well, but she did not like that because the person was my counterpart in Europe. And it was, so that kind of makes it in the family.
In the family. And
Yeah.
and it makes the team look bad when it was all false.
Right. And
You know?
the reason this man had such beef with me was because I put him in his place and I kept him in check. And he didn't like that. I called out his bullshit.
Yes, but this person had been working with your prior company, for about 10 to 15 years, and he got away with selling them junk, lying, giving them trash, getting paid. And you saw that he was cheating the company instead of just like
I mean, I had physical proof.
Exactly. Instead of just
you know,
turning the other cheek and saying,
We're not
screw
selling
it.
like, I don't know, something invisible or something. It's a tangible item.
Right.
And
he resented
seeing
the
it.
fact that you called him out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, but it was you not so much put him in his
But
place, but you called him out.
let me
go
say
ahead.
something. I called you out on stuff.
Oh, yeah, but
And you took it and made it positive and made your business better.
100%. That's why you're here. I
Yeah.
said, I like being challenged. I like being pushed to get better. I don't take anything in this business personal, except you come at me personal. If you tell me, hey, you need to improve your QA methods, you need to do a better job with making sure when you guys are cutting shorts, the inseams are even, thank you so much. I mean, what matters to me, and still does, is quality and sell-through. I feel proud when I know something sells out, because I know I
Why
gave
are
you
we
good
getting
shit.
so many repeat orders on this denim short special?
Because you're picky as, FA, whatever
Yeah.
you call it. Yeah.
Proof is in the pudding, my friend.
Proof's in the pudding.
Okay, I'll do another story.
So, but this person is
Oh.
huge in the vintage business.
Let's
and,
not say too much
right. And
legally.
well, it's true. And the fact
And some
that
people know who I'm talking about
and
already.
the fact that they were threatened by you is a compliment.
Oh yeah, I was
You
like,
know, that's what I was trying to say to you. It's
Made
just
me
like,
feel good.
You've ruffled feathers, and that's sometimes
after
it's a
the
good
fact.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. At first, I was upset because it's just like I was already very stressed at work, and it was just
Yeah.
another, the straw.
Right. But I had your back. I
Yeah.
made her. I told her what's up.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna delete that. I'm kind of just because our list is so long. The next thing, I don't want to say too much. This is a client's husband who is not in the United States. This is outside of the United States, and another person I called out on some stuff.
Right.
Was not aware that the husband was involved in the business at that time. I'm aware of that now. I'm shocked with him being involved that he was allowing what had happened to happen. And I won't say much more than that. And I called her out on it. In retrospect, I could have been a little less harsh.
Yes.
And yeah, I know. You said that, and one other person I told about it was like, oh, Bridget. However, what he did was pretty awful. So he got on a new email. He was sending me multiple emails with like 1 or 2 sentences in them about like me personally attacking me. And I don't even want to really go into it, but like he was making fun of my Instagram, like my personal Instagram, like the way I pose in pictures. And then he got like a little pervy. And I was just like, okay.
You know, one of the
I was so mad.
things I learned a long time ago.
I'm like, I
is-
can't believe you're married to this scum bucket. You know what? Good for you. You guys deserve each other.
One thing that I learned a long time ago is if you keep your arguments to the point that you're arguing and don't go personal, don't go anything, you're going to resolve the situation 100 times.
So-
instead of saying,
No.
your
And I'm with
grandpa
you.
had a wooden leg or any of that
No.
nonsense.
I was looking at it from I think my perspective was a lot less harsh than his. I was like, I look at things logically. This person isn't doing this, but they're doing that. Well, like, why? So why?
I don't think that was any of your business, personally.
No, but I'm telling you my logic.
He's telling you his logic. You
I
attack
wasn't looking
him.
at her like she's a bad person, but like, why? She owed us a lot of money. And I was trying to figure out, I'm looking at like their social media because Art brought it up to me, and I'm looking at their feed and I'm like, well, they look like they're doing A-okay. So how are they not paying off this debt? And it was a lot of money. I was looking at it from a logic, like that's how I am. And everyone's like that. I know so many people that are like, how does that person afford to do that?
Because they don't care.
Right.
Not everybody has the same level of integrity.
I know.
And that's what you have to learn.
But for him to like go on
Attack you?
my social media and like more or less call me ugly and stupid is just like,
Right?
I didn't do that to her.
You could, but you
I
didn't.
could have. I mean, I
Exactly.
wouldn't call her ugly, but you
Right.
know, I mean, she's
Yeah.
a little cuckoo. We know this.
Yeah, to each his own. I just think, he was wrong in attacking you personally. He should have said, maybe like, I would have said, well, how do you know this information? Are you creeping?
Hey,
I would have flipped
Don't
the
put it
script.
out there then.
Exactly.
Make your, like that's why I
If you're
always
gonna
tell
play
people
the,
like,
if you're gonna play the poor guy, poor me, don't show up here with a fucking Escalade, and with the brand new phone and all this, and you can't pay me what you owe me.
But that's something we wanted to get into
that's
later.
why I repost
but we
shit.
have people like that who are like, oh, can I get a discount? Can I get this for free? And then they show up in like some big fancy ass car or X, Y, and Z thing, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what am I? That's how I am such. I'm like a puzzle piece, and I'm like, what piece of the puzzle was I missing with this client? I'm like, okay, she's at a lake house. She has like 5 motorcycles. I'm like putting all these pieces together. I'm like, I'm not seeing a post where she's crying that someone died or a house burned down or they had an emergency. It all looks like a very happy, very prosperous life. So what is going on? What is the missing link, more or less? So
yeah.
But that guy attacked me pretty good.
Yep.
The next one was a sales.
How about behavior here at the warehouse? Like, there's been so many instances where, like, people have mistaken you for different things. That always cracks me up.
Well, yeah, and I talked about that on Instagram one day. We recently had a sales rep here, and I don't like this guy. I don't think Art likes him very much either.
No.
Excuse me. And this guy sees me looking at a rack. I'm rearranging things. I'm taking a step back, which is what I do. I do that in my house. I want to take a step back, take in the big picture. How does it look? So obviously I am doing something meaningful, something creative. And
the best part, his supervisor was here with him. Mm-hmm. And
oh, you go ahead, because I didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah.
I went downstairs.
Yeah. And he's like, go ahead. No, I forgot. He called you assistant, didn't he?
Something.
He called,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, your assistant. I said, excuse me? I said, that's not my assistant. I said, that's our creative director. And his boss looked at him and was like, you dipshit. I said, yeah, she's not an assistant.
And there's nothing wrong with being an assistant. I was an assistant to many people for a long time, but
I'm just saying, you should not assume just because someone's younger or a female and you're the male that's your assistant.
Yeah.
I mean, what if I said, no, actually she owns the place and I work for her. I just manage the place.
I tell people that sometimes when you're not here and they're pissing me off. I'm like, well, this is my facility.
Why can't it be that way? Why do you have to assume?
Right. It shouldn't.
What I mean?
It shouldn't be a stretch.
Now the ones that I really like is when they say, "Hey, your daughter really works hard." I'm like, you mother of a goat.
I came out here once with one of my.
It's happened way more than that.
No, well, we were in a record store in Fresno, and it was my old assistant and myself, and
both blondes.
Both blonde,
Eastern European descent.
Yeah, look nothing. I'm just like not trying. No offense, but we look nothing like you.
Oh, that's not a slack on me. It's a slack on you guys.
I could maybe see like, but he thought he was a record store owner here in Fresno, and I mean, I honestly think he was like a little off. Like he was
high.
He was high as fuck.
They all are.
So
the record store.
Maybe his eyes are a little glazed.
Yeah,
but he was like, what did he say? Something about your daughters?
Oh, your daughters are here to visit you. Do they like albums too? I'm like, and I've literally bought like maybe close to 6,000 or 7,000 albums from this guy when I was doing that urban project, and I was like, and I never bought one after that because I was like.
And then, you know what really pissed me off the last time we went down to LA, and you told me it after the fact, was that, well, first off, you walk into the warehouse and there's all these people just walking around like aloof, and there was a guy that one of you introduced me to, and after the fact you told me, what did he say?
I don't know. Tell me which one.
Here, I'll write it down because I can't say it out loud.
But I'm supposed to say it out loud?
Tight brown pants. Yeah. What did he say?
I don't remember. Oh, about you being my wife?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he say your wife is really hot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no, she's not. And that's Bridget. That's our creative director, buddy.
Yeah. Wife. We've had guys come up from LA to do picking, and they were like, is your husband here? I'm like,
That's Big Daddy. Oh,
Big old daddy.
Big old Daddy. That's for our Japanese friends.
No, I mean, it's just crazy, some of the shit I've heard. Nothing shocks me anymore. No one ever says you're whatever, your business partner, you're this, you're that. It's never the lofty things. It's always like fucking...
You're hired a gun. That's what you are. The hired gun.
That's right. Someone has to be the muscle here.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I'm going to go...
You're the weed eater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into our ads. Just give me 1 second here. We have a new ad. A new ad. All right. Patience while I read the new ad. Oak City Vintage is a community-curated vintage shop in Oklahoma City, showcasing the best local vintage sellers and makers in apparel, accessories, and home decor. Our goal is to create a joyful and easy shopping experience for our customers. We carry a variety of styles from dresses, blouses, to tees and denim, all ranging from the 40s through the 90s. The shop strives to bring a one-of-a-kind shopping experience so you can feel good and look good while supporting local businesses and keeping beautiful goods out of the landfill. Sorry, it's my first time reading it. New arrivals are added to the floor and website weekly, so there's always a chance to find your next treasure. The website is oakcityvintageokc.com. So there's an OKC after Oak City Vintage. And if you're in Oklahoma or somewhere in the Midwest, that you can easily go to Oklahoma City, check it out.
Sounds like a cool place.
Yes, it does. I've checked it out. Very cool. And thank you for your support and your patronage.
Much appreciated.
Okay. So back to our stories. You want to talk about T-shirt guys?
Well, you know what I've noticed?
Bruh, man.
See, before it used to be, we used to deal with, when I used to thrift 5 to 6 days a week, whether you want to call it flea markets, thrifting, thrift stores, is you deal with the regular people who would buy clothes to resell. And it was, and you would see each other, and I kid you not, it was like two people in the old Western days seeing each other on the one end of town. You'd lock eyes. You got your hand down ready to draw to see. And it's like, who was going? And like the first thing I would, back in the day, the first section you would always hit, leather jackets.
Oh my God.
All right. That was like, because that's when there was like some big money leather jackets.
How things have changed.
Right. And then it was denim. And you'd slowly walk sideways to get to that row.
I never had this issue. I must have been shopping in the right place.
Yeah. So now it's changed to where I'm hearing like some of the really rude stuff.
And this is coming a lot from women.
And and even guys. My friend Albert who still thrifts.
A lot of the guys that are listening to this podcast are amazing, and they're not like that. And I don't want them to feel like I'm being down on them. And I do appreciate.
No, but you know what? At the same time, it's a time to teach proper decorum and how to behave. I'm not saying, hey, you find a shirt and the girl's looking at it, hand the shirt over. No, first come, first serve. But at the same time, don't push.
Yeah, don't rip it out of their hand.
Cut. If someone's working a rack, don't cut in front of them and take the next 10. Right. Just wait your turn, because everybody's taste is different.
I'm like, I know you, girl. Thank God I'm not out there.
So he's telling me when he goes to thrifts, he's seeing people literally go to a section, bear hug like 40 to 50 jeans or T-shirts, throw them on their cart. And while it's on their cart, they're putting them back on the rack as they check them. As opposed to in the old days where you just flip through.
It's sick. It's sick.
Oh, it's
sick.
It's rude.
It's just.
And then we've heard of people at the bins, like literally pushing each other, and then like pushing moms and daughters out of the way just so they can grab something. It's just like, come on. Especially when other people have something, you don't need it.
Well, I was explaining to Art that prior to all this, that happened a lot, especially with women at sample sales, like in New York City for high-end brands. People would be ripping hair, kicking each other, It's not to say that, that hasn't happened with women in the past, but these t-shirt guys really get to me. And I mean, TikTok is the absolute worst.
It's the lingo.
It's the lingo.
It's the lingo bugs me like to no end. It's like its own lazy language.
Yeah.
And it's lazy.
I told someone, I said, I identify as a woman. Please don't call me bruh. And they kept writing like on the comment, bruh, bruh. Bruh,
oh, they know
bruh.
they pushed the button.
I immediately blocked them. But you know what? These guys, I've probably, if I could pick one cohort of people I've blocked the most of on TikTok, and I hardly ever block anybody on Instagram because that's more of like a familial community. Whereas TikTok, it's a lot of people that find us on TikTok. They'll come over to Instagram. TikTok for me is more just like getting our name out there, getting the podcast out there and the business out there. And, I have blocked more t-shirt guys than any other group of people.
Well,
they are.
You know why? And they're getting desperate because it's not
the same.
The ship is sinking.
Oh, of course. And you know what? Like, I've some of them. It's just the lack of manners. And I'm not saying you need to be fucking Emily Post here, but
They don't know who that is.
a lot of people listening do.
T-shirt guy doesn't know.
I
Emily
know.
Post.
I'm using that as an example.
Oh, gotcha.
You don't need to read Emily Post's book on etiquette, but when you're telling somebody, if you're
Maybe you should say Barney.
Barney, yeah, please
Barney
and thank
says
you.
be polite.
Yeah, I mean, it's just shocking. Like I've said, one kid called me a boomer because I said, "Hey, please would be nice." Like he was literally just typing random shit, like talk about this, do that, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, I'm not a fucking animal. I'm a human being." And I'm not a boomer because I asked you to be polite. Like, let's not go there. I mean, I just,
that would have been so fun to see this person live and you punch him with your angry Pennsylvania hockey ass. Oh.
Now, I rip apart with words. I've gotten some people good to the point where they don't even know what to say.
The pen is
what else,
mighty.
It really throws me off is it's like, always these like skinny, almost always these like skinny little white guys, and they're like talking like they're black, and I'm like, I thought we're not supposed to be doing that anymore. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't call me homie. Like, what the fuck? It reminds me of like the kids when I was in like 5th grade that thought they were Tupac, and it's like, what are you doing? It's just such a weird. We live in such a weird
it's
world.
its own subculture is what it is.
It is.
Because for the most part, most of them are harmless. It's kind of like the comic book guy, but it's t-shirt guy.
Well, should we segue into denim guys? Because that's also on my list.
Denim.
You know more about the denim, denim dicks.
Yeah, they're very. They're probably the most sexist of all of them because they can't. It doesn't sink in between them and the military guy. Every guy who's in denim thinks they are the expert on denim. They think they pay the most and they know the most. And they have the most inflated egos by far. T-shirt guy is he's harmless. He's annoying. But these guys are pure conceited dicks. They cannot wrap their head around a fact a woman is in the vintage business. And they still can't.
How many women really are interested? Dealt with too many of them, Right. Just because when my old job, I wasn't buying like super special denim. Here, I've gotten to know about it through you, and you're obviously not one of these people. But I see it. Like I see it on like social media.
I think it's pure insecurity and what's that other word? I don't know. Where you're just so full of yourself. Vain.
Arrogance, vanity.
Yeah, vanity. Yeah. It's just to me. I don't deal with them. I just laugh.
Yeah.
Most people that really don't get under my skin unless they attack somebody I care about.
Well, and
you can't do nothing. Me, I'm Superman.
Because I liked what.
I deflect.
1 second.
Oh man, I forgot to tell you. Do you remember our Gilroy adventure?
Yeah.
That guy texted me this morning.
No, he didn't.
Yes, 6 o'clock in the morning, with the most random, broken language text you've ever read.
You'll have to show me later.
Yeah, asking me if I'm interested in that leather patch buckle bag that he said he sold for $7,000 10 years ago. But the guy returned it from Germany because it was too small.
So this is going to be kind of a summary of what a few different people have told me, female sellers rather, that, you know, a lot of the men in the industry now kind of make them feel like less than or stupid for having more femme type items, you know, like at a booth, like dresses. Like dresses are just silly and stupid, you know.
Well, what do you think that is?
Insecurity
and jealousy because they don't understand it well enough to sell it themselves.
Yeah, right.
You know, if you're in this business, you like to sell stuff.
Right.
And if you don't know it, it irks you because you can't get into that niche.
Yeah.
Well, educate yourself.
Yeah.
You know, don't be like, I love Aesop's fables. I used to love reading them. And the one that always sticks out to me, and I cannot tell you how many times on a weekly basis it pops up, and it has to do with that damn goat. You know, she sees that bunch of grapes up in the tree on the vine, but it's growing kind of high, and he tries to figure out ways to get it. And then he comes down, and all of a sudden he starts bad-mouthing the grapes, saying, "Oh, they're probably sour. They probably suck."
Yeah.
Well, just because you can't achieve something doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just you need to up your game. Mm-hmm. Educate yourself.
I like that.
And it's so easy now to do. I mean, there's no excuse.
I'm going to do back-to-back ad reads here. We have 3 marguerites resellers of curated finds on eBay. Antique, vintage, contemporary, hand smock dresses on Sunday mornings, pearl snap shirts in the same dance hall where Grandpa waltzed Granny. A Shetland wool sweater keeps you cozy around the campfire. Chicken soup and the price is right under an heirloom Afghan. We hope you'll find these memories and more in our eBay store. 3 Marguerites gladly ships overseas purchases through the eBay Global Shipping Program. That's ebay.com/str/3 Marguerites. Thank you for your patronage. Elwood Vintage was opened in 2016 with a dream and 3 t-shirts. 6 years later, Elwood Vintage has that perfect piece for every occasion. Put on an Elwood Vintage tee and hear the loud guitars screaming, feel the drums beating, and you singing your heart out at your favorite 80s rock concert. We have that Buttersoft biker tee that will take you back to your first motorcycle ride with the wind in your hair and 0 Fs given. Visit elwoodvintage.com. Don't forget about that perfect crisp pair of vintage jeans to jump into in the morning. When you buy vintage, you're buying more than the clothes. You're buying the memory and the good vibes that come. Elwood Vintage, wear them till they melt off. And I'm giving Elwood a little extra airtime here because we missed last week's ad. And she wanted you all to know that she's offering free shipping on her website.
Oh, wow.
elwoodvintage.com. Yeah, so check it out. Great Harley tees, rock tees, denim. Definitely a biker babe vibe. So check out elwoodvintage.com for free shipping this week. Well, not this week. Just check out Elwood. I'm not going to say when she's doing the free shipping.
Now and for the rest of the month.
No.
Yes, you got to do it.
I can't say that. Just check it out for free shipping.
Yeah, you can just tell her. Just put the code ART.
No, there's no code. I even asked if she wanted to do a code. Okay. All right. And then I will come back. We do have a new patron with a burning question for Art, but we'll come back to that in a minute. You know, I thought it would be worth talking about the employees here at Baz. At one point in time, we had how many different guys working here?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
With me here.
With you here. Yep.
And that was always...
Were there any girls left? No, we got rid of them and brought in the girls.
Yeah, because I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do this
Yeah, it was
anymore.
absolutely absurd. I had to throw my...
It was awful.
Whack people around.
I remember you telling someone, well, Bridget's your boss, and they said, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's arrogance or ignorance or just plain stupidity, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, some of these guys were older than me, and I think that was hard for them. I think that was hard for them to grasp.
Well, here's the thing.
At the end of the day, though, I could have been a lot harder on them and a lot meaner and a lot more verbally yelling at them. Like, they did some real stupid shit that pissed me off. I can remember going out to an Urban Outfitters store where our product was in and seeing something in the store.
Oh, yeah, you went to San Luis Obispo and you
San
called
Luis
me.
Obispo with a friend.
Yeah.
And I was irate because on the tag, I know from working there and working here what product is ours because we have a vendor number. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking kill these guys. I was so pissed, so embarrassing. And the sales associate saw me taking pictures. She's like, is everything okay? I said, yes, this is my product and I'm not happy about it. And she was like, yeah, you know, and then she like started talking. I'm like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. I'm like, I just left. I'm like, I can't do this, you know? So I think in retrospect, I was actually very nice to them, treated them well, always celebrated their birthdays, you know, but they just constantly had issues with taking orders and advice from me, you know, like work advice. Like, this is what you should be doing.
Well, you look like you're 12, one, and you're a girl.
It shouldn't matter.
Obviously, it shouldn't matter. But, you know, you've been in environments, right? I mean, think about your old boss. She left her position, real high-ranking position, because her assistant became her new boss. Correct? So
More
it
or
happens
less,
with
yeah.
women as well.
No,
it's
I know.
just it's a psychological thing. Like, you know, like I can't imagine a 20-year-old giving me orders. You know, something you have to work in. The goal is I'd kill him. Remember when that fucker did? Yeah. I was like, oh, this is going to be my salary. I said, get the fuck out of here. Bridget was like, Art, that's not how you have a human resources meeting. I said, no, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Well, this kid was asking for a lot of money
But
for
I was
someone
like-
who, you know, just had absolutely no experience.
No experience. And then I started yelling, and he's like, why are you yelling at me? I'm like, because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
No.
No, he actually left. He quit and didn't even say goodbye to me. Yeah.
No.
And then he texted me later that night and said, I know we had our differences, but I just want to let you know that I'm thankful for the opportunity. And I'm just like,
Yeah. Here's the Philly flip off, buddy.
yeah, I literally watched him pull out of the warehouse parking lot. He pulled into our front space and he was just sitting there. And I'm like, this motherfucker's not even going to say goodbye to me.
That's the intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Small package, big bite.
Messy people in the warehouse. Let's talk about just some shit people in general. Dog shit. I mean, we've talked about the dog shit before. I can't remember if it was on a private episode or a public episode. Just disrespectful people.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the dinosaur had a great line. Because last time she was here, I was telling her I'm getting to my wit's end with this one client that I've had to tell 3 times.
Well, she knows him.
Yeah. And like, dude,
And
you
wasn't
need to
surprised.
stop making a goddamn mess. He's a scattered brain. He buys a shitload of stuff, but he's just a slob. And I
Yeah.
think it's just
Total slob.
yeah, he's just a slob with his life, and he
Yeah, I mean,
creates
his
slob.
house probably
House,
doesn't look much
car,
better. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I just got to figure out a way, like, look, you're not ever coming back here again. You know, I can't deal with it. She said, okay.
3 strikes, you're out.
No. She said, you're at the bar. 84, you're cool. 85, 86, you're 86th out. She said it so much
Yeah.
better that I'm like, aha, that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people are just, you know, I know not everyone follows us on social media, and that's probably where we run into the most issues are people that
You know
come
what?
and
I
they've
just
never.
came up with a great idea.
What?
First time
Well,
here,
that's when
you have to watch a video. Sit down
Well,
and
I
watch a
offered
video.
a long time ago to
No
make.
one's reading your thing.
Oh, fuck off.
No one's reading your bullshit, but they'll watch a video.
I know.
Oh, we should have an app, an
Dinosaur
animated
said-
you,
Dinosaur
and
said the
animated
same
me,
thing.
animated me, animated you. You'll have like 40.
Like when you get on the plane,
yes,
I'll have glow sticks.
yeah,
Like,
with your 4 foot long arms.
yeah, no, I just there's people. So my
Welcome.
point about the social media is there's people that don't follow us and they come and they've never heard me talk on social media. Like, hey, if you come to the warehouse, please don't do this, please don't do that. I mean, we had one person show up. They parked in the strangest spot I've ever seen anyone park. They get a dog out, and I'm like, guys, like we can't. For insurance purposes, like I can't have a dog up on the floor. And the girl looked like she was literally
Gonna
gonna
cry.
like break down in tears. I'm like, oh fuck. And it was just
Remember the dog had anxiety issues? I'm like, chick, you're
I think
projecting
I
yours
think the
on
dog's
him.
feeding off of you.
Yeah.
I am just like, oh, and this was recent.
Remember
and
the
I'm
dog
like,
was looking at me like, help.
yeah, I'm sure.
I don't want to take those pills.
And you said someone's dog shit up there once and they didn't clean it up.
Yeah, I found it like a fucking week later. I was pissed.
Yeah.
And I knew that
so
dog.
if you're listening to this and you're coming, please don't bring your dog. We love dogs. I used to have my dogs here, but I had them down in like what is like the residential space of the warehouse. Up on the warehouse floor, we can't have animals up there. It's not the safest place to bring your kids either. That has happened, and I was like giving the people mean looks because it was hot as fuck. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah, it's not fair to the babies.
No, it's not at all. And I know some people are in a bind sometimes with childcare. I'm totally empathetic to that,
but pick it seasonally.
Yeah,
Pick when the weather's like in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 70s. Make it, you know, because it's you see them turn red. Kids get hotter than us because they have a high. Yeah.
Other shitty things.
Rudeness, not even rude. Just rudeness. Like common courtesy goes a long way.
Sometimes,
but I'm gonna tell you something. If someone's acting that way towards you and you're at a thrift store, do not back down. Fucking get in there.
Well, I was going to talk about that. You sometimes
say, I'm going to stick this in you. You know what?
No.
And that will scare those t-shirt guys. They'll be like, what? Well, no, I don't do that. I said, well, I will.
Like my great aunt.
Oh, yeah. That nurse.
My great aunt was amazing. She was in a nursing home not too far from where I grew up, about half an hour. And I think well, no shade to her son, but I do think he put her further away from him. He was like an hour and a half away. I think he did that on purpose. Kind of knew we'd be around. But she was my grandmother's sister, and she was amazing. I just liked her a lot better because she was cool. She would like steal a car when she was like 13. She would give me beer, and it was a Catholic nursing home, of course, because we're a very Catholic family, and there were nuns there. And there was an elevator because it was like we would call it a high rise. There's multiple floors. And there was a nun in the elevator with another lady. And the lady, I think, was a little out of it. And she was just staring at my great aunt. My great aunt made a fist. And she said, if you keep looking at me like that, I'm going to knock your fucking teeth out. So the head nun calls her son, who'd be like my first cousin once removed, and said, listen, if your mom doesn't start to behave, we're going to kick her out.
Yeah, see, that's one of the reasons I didn't put my mom in a home.
Yeah, your mom would be the exact same way.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. I am the boss.
You are cooking bullshit. You don't. Let me get in the kitchen. I cook for 2,000. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, like, sometimes people come here and we haven't met them before, and Art will come up to me and he'll be like, that's an energy vampire, you know, just like, it's Art and we just love having fun here. And Art especially, he has such a positive, upbeat personality. I have my moments where I have down days or grumpy days, but it's hard for us to really like dry people. If you're dry, go to LA, because Rafi, that's his bread and butter. Yeah. He likes dry, boring people.
Yeah,
we want you to have like a margarita with us,
exactly,
or a bubbly water.
We get so much shit done, but it's like, what's the point of doing something if you're not enjoying it?
Yeah.
Every day is a blessing, and it should be treated that way. A celebration of being productive and having fun and helping. If you can do those things every single day, you will have a blessed life, my friend.
Oh my God, where is it? I think they changed their profile picture now. I can't find them.
Because you've been bad-mouthing them?
No. Someone sent a story in, a patron of ours.
Oh, my bad.
Jesus Christ, I swear. Oh, there it is. So this person is a patron of ours there in Denmark. And they said, they have a great relationship with their wholesaler, who's in Italy. So that's good news. But they said, very much they feel sexism from male vendors and wholesalers who think they can sell us anything. Like, we don't know what this business is about. We have a pretend business, a cute little girly store, and it pisses them off. I am a grown woman, 35, and the cute little store makes a lot of money, and I employ a lot of people because I know exactly what I'm doing. So more power to her.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. More power to you.
But that's what I was going at with, like, oh, you sell girly stuff, or femme stuff. So,
Yeah. Well, think about the people who are in the wholesale side. If you think about it, male dominated.
And I've heard I'm just not going into gender, but I've just heard a lot of horrible things about European wholesalers in general. I'm sure hers is very lovely, and I'm glad she has them in her life and for for her business, but I have just in general heard some nightmare stories.
In France and Germany.
Someone else. Oh shit! See, I thought I had screenshot these, but keep talking, Art. Keep talking.
Who are you to tell me to keep talking?
You're being one of them. So this is another one.
Oh, see, look how fast I got cut off.
I'm assuming this would be public information, but in Toronto, someone got arrested for raping 3 people.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Pakistani?
Rag House regular.
Rag House. That's the name of the Rag House?
I'm not going to say what they are or who they are.
No, but okay. I was just curious.
Most of the
ones in
wholesalers
Toronto,
are Pakistani.
Now, yeah.
No, I don't think this person's a wholesaler. They're a shop owner.
Man, that's crazy. I'm just curious. I'm not throwing the blame.
So this person that wrote in, they've been in alone with him. And,
Whoa, man!
So,
thank your guardian angels.
And same thing. I think what feels
it's more common in Brownsville where like crazy shit happens.
Oh,
like
I'm
that.
sure.
Yeah.
I think what feels most overwhelming sometimes is the book ending. Old men give you these are just for boys, little lady, and streetwear dudes can make you feel like anything other than t-shirts is just something that they have to please the shoppers, a silly frolic. So where do we fit in, especially women in their 40s and 50s?
You don't fit in. You create your own space. You don't need to
know,
fit.
but that's a rhetorical
That's what I'm saying. It's like
rhetoric.
You know, proof's in the pudding, like you said. When you go and consistently buy, they're going to realize, well, man, you're spending more than this guy. I'm allocating resources. I'm having 6 women pull T-shirts and go through stuff. Then pretty soon what's going to have is you're going to get your own crew working for you at these rag houses with pick packs. You make them pick packs. This is what I want. This is what I want to buy. Pull the shit aside for me. I'll be back every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Set it up. Make them work for you. Demand this shit.
Art told me 2 stories recently about 2 people in LA that shook me to my core. That I specifically can't talk about one of them just because of who this person's involved with. Nothing, but it's bad. Let's just say it's bad. So just be careful in LA. How about that?
Yeah.
Go see Rafi. Nothing bad will happen to you there, I promise.
You might get.
I mean, you might
take you a while to check out because he's playing either cornhole or ping pong, or there's a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do our patron read. We have a new patron. They are based in Richmond, Virginia, and they gave me 3 Instagram accounts to shout out. We have Instagram at undead_stock to see what they're currently up to and get in touch. It's really fun. Their avatar is a little zombie. Get it? The undead stock. Yeah. I think that's what they were going for.
100%.
Yeah. So that's
it dead stock, but undead.
Undead_stock. You can check them out on eBay at T-Shirt Galaxy. That's just the letter T-Shirt Galaxy. In-person retail, Circle Art and Thrift, 400 West Broad Street, Richmond, Virginia. And that's at Circle_RVA. And if you want to check any of these out or anybody else's businesses out, you can always just hit pause, grab a piece of pen and a paper, and get to it. And then they have an in-person showroom, which is higher end retail and wholesale available. DM them for more info. That is in Richmond, Virginia. And they have a burning question for you, Arturo.
They do?
Yes. Okay. I used to work for a friend setting up a comic convention, so we always loved hearing stories from old heads about fights and arguments on the convention circuit amongst comic dealers, back in the 80s and 90s. Aside from Baz Bros versus Indiana Jeans, are there any other standout moments from clothing conventions or other industry-related event debacles that you'd like to share?
Wow.
I'm nervous.
There's been quite a few, believe it or not, but most of them have been where you actually are helping neighbors and helping people set up. Like at the Rose Bowl, there would always be, all the spaces weren't reserved prior, so there'll be open spaces and they would fit in whoever, and there would be these random people who've never been there, so that it looks like the place is full. So you would get someone next to you, and we've had some really sweet people, and we've had some real annoying people. Like basically, that would show up, and they'd start telling you, "You need to move it. You need to move this." I'm like, "Lady, I'm not moving shit. I've been here fucking 6 years. I'm not moving anything. Okay, this is the line. This is how it works. You're on this side. This is on my side. So if you need help, I can help you." "Well, it just seems like you have way too much space." I said, "Well, I pay for 6 spaces. You paid for 1.
Oh,
so I
well,
do have
yeah.
more Like trying
Just
to,
Couldn't
grasp it. Could not grasp it. And I'm like, I don't have time.
What was she selling?
Shit.
Yeah.
Just shit. You know, just,
She didn't understand that you had paid for that many spaces?
yeah. Couldn't grasp the
So
fact.
what's the story?
Oh, I'm just saying, a lot of time, it's, for the most part, it's usually like, you know,
just like
me and Rob are very,
little things.
Yeah, we're mostly non-confrontational until you bring it to us. And then we'll be like, my brother's a lot more patient than I am. It takes a lot for him to get pissed, but then when he gets pissed, it's like impossible to bring him back down. Whereas me, I get pissed pretty easy, and then I'm cool after a beer or 2, whatever. We're chilling.
Are you?
But maybe 3.
So wait, what's the story?
All right. I might have mentioned it earlier, but I didn't give you the full details of what really went down. There was a time I was selling at the Rhodium. Me and Rolf were selling, and Rhodium was always before Rose Bowl on Thursday and Friday before. It's in Redondo Beach.
It's
a flea
only
market.
weekdays, right?
Well, it's there every day, but
Oh.
we would only go down there prior to the Rose Bowl. So most people would sell there Thursday, Friday, then Saturday they would be in Pasadena, Sunday the Rose Bowl, then Monday back to the Rhodium. And that's in the Japanese. Most of the hotels are there in Redondo Beach area in Gardena. So there would be there for 5 days. It was a drag. Literally by the 4th or 5th day, you're just like beat. You know, you're going on maybe 3 hours of sleep a night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was insane. So one of the times, and you know, we sold just a mix of things. It always depended on the month, depended on the time of the year, what is it that they were after, and you would get indications, because back then I would get faxes from, you know, there was some of these guys would never know how to use email then.
Oh, yeah.
So I would get faxes all the time, and it's always like 2 a.m, 1 a.m, right? And so you would see, I would compare, okay, this company's asking for this, and I would see, okay, what are the things that they're asking that are similar? And then I would know, like, okay, somehow this must have hit a magazine, this is popular. So that's how you would base what you would take, because you can't take everything you have. And so everybody's booth pretty much looked the same. You'd have some shoes, Nike, Adidas, some stuff. And you'd have some clothes, some jackets, and then there would be some things that were a little bit more different. So we got shoes out there. And this Mexican guy, who was like the supposed kingpin of the time, he never walked by himself. He'd always have an entourage. And he was probably like 5'3", 5'4", curly hair, like with like almost like, what do you call it, the activator or the sheen in it, where it was just shiny. And he was supposedly like the kingpin of all the rag houses. He was in all the rag houses, big money guy. And he'd always, like I said, he'd have people with him. So the guy, "Hey man, this is my stuff." I'm like, "What?" It's like, he was trying to accuse me and my brother of somebody broke into his locker. It's one of his storage units, and these are his Nike shoes. I said, "Man, these are not your shoes. We've had this shit for like years. It's the, like, you know, your leftover from all the different buys." And my brother's like, "Hey man, come on. Like, we really need to steal your shit." He's like, no, I know my shoes." And I'm like, "What's the difference between this?" And I point to the guy next to me, the guy next. They're pretty much all the same.
Yeah.
They're just a mix of old Nike running shoes and basketball shoes. So I'm starting to get pissed. Like, man, this is annoying, you know, because here you are trying to deal with customers that are there, and some freaking clown is calling you a thief. So he's like, no, man, I want my shit. I'm like, you know what? Rolf's like, "Hey, Rolf, I'll take care of it," because he saw I was getting mad. And so they settle on something. He walks away. Next thing you know, he fucking comes back, but this time with 4 other guys, right? I'm like, "Rolf," in Armenian, I tell him, I'm going to hit him, and then you go, and he's like, "Man, calm down." So he's like, "Just calm down. We didn't do anything." I said, "Yeah, but I'm pissed that he's accusing me of that."
They don't have security there then, I guess? Probably not then.
No, they did, but it's hokey.
Bullshit.
It's hokey, yeah. And he comes back, all right, we're going to take our shit. I said, you're not touching shit. And I said, if you come back with guys to take shit, can you make sure one of them's above 5'5"? Because right now they look like I'm about to teabag all of them. And he's like, hey, there's no teabag here, man. I said, I'm about to go. And I was ready. Rob's like, and so I took a step at him, and he took a step back, and he tripped over his guys. He's like, oh no, man, you touched me. I said, I didn't touch you. You fell like a big chicken. Get going. I said, this is our shit. So, needless to say, so this guy's like, I'm gonna get you guys.
He's still in the business?
Oh no, it gets better. So, at one of the main rag houses in LA, he controlled it. And he would go around in a cart, and he wouldn't even do any of the work. He'd have 4 or 5 guys with him, like picking from the women that do all the bins, you know? Mm-hmm. So he would collect from them.
Oh, I bet their life was miserable.
Oh, and he would see me.
Things.
And he would see me. He's like, I remember. I'm like, okay. He's like, I go. And then one day I say, you know what? One day you're going to work for me, big guy. Right? And then pretty soon his business, because he never understood the business.
Yeah.
He started in the business.
He's too into himself.
10 years prior. So this guy wore more gold than you. Right? He started 10 years prior to us. Right? So he was in all, and he was used to the easy money.
Yeah.
Where you bought something for $2, sold it for $200. The shoes for $1, and you sold it for $400.
Yeah.
Never understood the business. He understood
the long term.
None of it, right?
Yeah.
So about 6-7 years ago, so he lost his warehouse. He lost all that stuff. And so you know what he does on a regular basis? Calls my brother, and he's his picker.
Shut up.
Swear.
Is it someone I know?
You've seen him there?
Shut up.
Yeah. So do not let the Armenian put a curse on you when you work for me.
Wow.
Yeah. God has
That's
an amazing way of working. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think on that note, we will. Well, you know what? I didn't do my patron spiel, but if you want to sign up for the patron program, it's patron.podbean.com/mybestvintagelifepodcast. We have our $5 level. It's the most popular one. You get an on-air shout out, a burning question for Art, like we asked, like he just answered. And
hopefully it wasn't too graphic.
No, it's fine. 2 bonus episodes a month, which you can listen to only through the Podbean app. That was a question that was asked recently, but you already have so many other apps. What's another one? So that's $5 a month. And then you can do our ad level. That's $20 a month, and you get 30 to 60 seconds of an ad read twice a month, which you heard me do those earlier. So that's patron.podbean.com/mybestvintagelifepodcast.
Remember, free shipping, free shipping.
Yeah, poor Chantel. And anyone who's in the patron program, no matter what level you're at, you get access to the bonus episodes and all the back catalog. And we have we're getting close to 30 bonus episodes now.
Wow. You know what? I'll do bonus episodes of fights amongst vendors. I've got more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It brings back memories. I could still see it. Oh, man.
All right.
Because it used to be an old drive-in. That place, so don't think of a flat place. Think of it where, if you remember drive-ins, they were kind of hilly, so you could park your car and you're looking up, and so you're not blocking each other.
Not in Pennselsylvania.
They were flat? Mm-hmm. Oh, here they were like
field.
rolling hills.
That makes sense, though. Yeah, staggered.
And so that's why he tripped, because he was going up back uphill.
Yeah. I had no idea. I just assumed it was like a big parking lot.
Man, I just remember all his gold. He had a gold soccer ball, and I know if you've been in this business, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh my God. Yeah, and if you maybe we can, obviously we can only say so much on air, but if you have if you want to take any guesses at any of the people we've talked about today, DM me.
Yeah, free t-shirt whoever guesses 3 of them.
Yeah. And in a serious sense, if any of these, I know I told some not so nice stories, and if you're ever scared or concerned about a business or someone you're working with, and you want my opinion or Art's opinion on them or their business, just let us know. Yeah,
we'd be glad to help.
In the meantime, my friends, stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, be kind,
stay blessed,
and don't be basic. Bye.
Bye.